Well, Miss Professor, you asked.
Hey, for greater context, watch the full video in the stitch below. I just want to respond to what you're saying, brother, and I want to just add this. I'm 40 plus years old. I don't know how old you are. Maybe you're close to being 40. It amazes me how you got the modern female, the modern American female that say the stuff that they do. They don't want you to do anything. They want you to have male responsibility, but devoid of leadership. But I'll take a little step further and touching back on the whole father thing and stuff. You can instill discipline in terms of pride, revolution, or make your son conscious, or make the young man conscious and talk. If you start one thing I noticed as me being mentoring children, when I say the mom's the problem, because I'm not going to side with the adult. If the adult is wrong for what they do, I don't care what type of backlash and front lash I get. If I say I don't agree with how you're handling your child, it's a problem. Even if the child snaps out, I say, well, you are out of pocket. So what do you expect? I'm not. Well, you shouldn't condone a child. Well, the mom shouldn't be toxic. She shouldn't be a narcissist. You shouldn't be an asshole to your children, because one day when you are a senior citizen, you're going to need your children. You're going to need them young people that you dogged out and shit on and abused and mistreated to take care of your sorry ass. I had family members who work in a nursing home, and they talk about how their children disowned them, let them rot because they were pieces of shits as parents. Now you have exceptions. Remember, exceptions. But most of the times, I say your kids don't owe you nothing because they didn't ask to be here. What I would say is that you got mothers who don't want to give their sons nothing. They just give their sons manhood responsibilities. But when it comes to self-efficiency, standing on their own and try to build themselves, they don't want that. They'll let the daughter do it. I'll help my daughter buy a car before I help my son, because I don't want my son out here fucking hoes. Well, why are you okay with your daughter being a whore? Well, because I don't want my son to be, but you keep dealing with Pookie and Ray Ray, and you're not telling these younger women or your own daughter to get with the good guy, to get with the guy who's an honest to, the guy who's not so kind. And don't get, I know we have our disagreements, bro. Okay, I'm not saying guys who don't come from the hood, guys who are well mannered, guys who have got class, guys who got straight A's, guys who did what they supposed to do in the legal sense and didn't break no laws intentionally. The only thing probably, jaywalking, not signaling, speeding or driving too slow, or did some immoral act of cheating. I think that a lot of mothers, when it comes to their sons, they will try to raise their sons to be the simp, because they don't want that man to be an alpha to the point, not because he's going to be unruly. I think to be talking about revolution, we need to have that rebellious spirit, and we need to have rebellion, but know how to have a rebellion with cause, not without a cause. They're so afraid that their son is going to treat those women, because they were young girls once, and he's going to treat them accordingly. You treat a 304 like a 304. If I had a son, I'd tell my son, I'm not saying he should be promiscuous but if you treat a hoe like a hoe, you treat a lady like a lady. But a lot of women don't like that. Even if you try to mentor and red pill these young men, their sons, but when it comes to trifling ass women, they don't warn their sons about that female nature, because they're that type of heifer. They're that type of hyena. So because they don't want to go against the sisterhood. I told my son, about watch out for these broads, they're trifling and this and blah blah blah. About deal with a woman whose character stuff like that. The sisterhood will cancel her, which I've seen. When it comes to holding women accountable, and I'm talking about from immoral to even legal, because they get a lot of shit. And we can tell you that's racially across the board, but let's be real. There's an agenda being pushed. Even when it comes to, you have had mothers that don't give their sons nothing. They'll give their daughters the world. And even when the son is doing a good thing, doing what he's supposed to do, they'll treat him like shit because they're mad at the father. Because he's not kissing, especially if you got a narcissistic mother. Like I did. I had a narcissistic dad, but I had a narcissistic mother. And this is what we don't talk about, or we try to talk about, in this space, which I do, is that you have a lot of women, mothers who are narcissistic and unaccountable, especially if they're been grown up pretty and spoiled due to the father. My baby girl can't do no wrong. Oh yes, she can. If you don't keep it real with her, don't keep it a beam with her, she can do wrong. If you're not instilling values and you're giving her that Disney princess fantasy, you're setting her up for failure. And what y'all seen done, even if the dad is present in the home. I've seen most of the women I've been with came from a two-parent home, but they were very misandric. They were misandrous, very feminist, entitled, narcissistic, and the father would be the enabler, surprisingly. Yeah, the mom can do it. We already know the mom does it too. And the thing is about that, these moms, even when it comes to the stepdaddy thing, you got stepfathers that they will let the stepfather or mistreat their child because they're mad at the father. We seen that too. I'm a survivor of that. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't kiss my ass and do emotional labor, and like I'm the son husband. These women, they want men. You got women, I don't know, you saw that clip. The mom didn't put gas in the car. She blaming her son and beating her son up and making him put his life on the line to get gas and walk, and he can be snatched up. You got young black men going missing too, but they don't talk about that. And all of a sudden, because he ran away from the dogs, she's just being toxic and saying you ain't shit and this and that, and she lost her child to CPS. These women need men when it's convenient. These women, when it comes to their sons, they want their sons to be. Now you got women that will criticize men, right? And I've seen this too. Criticize the men. I'm pretty sure you have. But they raised their sons to be the same woman beaters, the same pookies and raries that they complain about, but you can't say nothing about that. But yet you have the other spectrum, the son is an honorable man, but he becomes an asshole because he was good to the wrong woman. Because the mother didn't warn him about female nature. He didn't warn him about stay away from them type of hoes. And even, let's just say there are some women who have. And, sometimes you can warn your children or children that you're in, stay away from that type of hell. Stay away from that type of dude. He ain't no good. And you can show all the facts, all the evidence, even people who live through those bad decisions and those bad experiences, even show them in prison, show them at the gravesite, and they will still follow the wrong people. But I will argue that we don't teach. We don't want our son. We're told to respect all women. And a lot of times when these kids they go off on the parent, if the parent is an asshole. All right, trifling. Okay. I'm just bringing balance to what you're saying. But however, you got women, the mothers, encouraging their children, especially their daughters, to be bitches. Mean to men. Oh, he ain't shit. Especially if you're the man who's not like the men they talk about. You could be a man, or the young man could be a man who's an honor man, who's morals and values. Don't treat him like shit. Because they're not attracted to that. Even if they saw it growing up, they don't respect that because of the secular culture. I don't know what it is about women and the devil. Women like evil things. I'm not saying all. Not all, but most. For some reason, when they're young, they like the bad boy. They like this and this and that. Just like the men like the woman, when we were young, we like a woman who had a chest out. The woman who was, foddy, who was willing to give it up. But we don't acknowledge that and say, hey, we was on that bullshit when we was young. We did a lot of foul shit when we was younger. And I think what we need to do as adults is just be real with these young people that we used to be that way. And we survived it and we didn't survive it. You know what I'm saying?